Tell us about what it took to write this book. What is the message that you want to share?
Well, the message is, there's a man by the name of Customato. He said, there's a hero and there's a coward. They both feel the same. It's what they do that makes them different.
Oh, that's... Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Make It Count. I'm your host, Michelle Latocha, and today I have a guest. Let me get this straight. Just Isaac. Welcome to the show. How did I do?
Oh, incredible. Incredible.
He has to say that. Well, welcome to the show. We were talking before we aired, and I got goosebumps because I'm totally a universe person, and I feel that people are put into your lives for the greater good. And even though at that time, maybe it wasn't the greater good, but there's always a lesson. And I feel like our mutual friend that put us together knew something, not something that's going to transpire. We met before and briefly. And it's crazy the similarities I feel we have. So I'm so excited to have you here.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
There's a gravitational pull when it comes to alignment.
Yeah.
Right? It just happens that way. We're interconnected anyway.
Absolutely. Tell our viewers a bit about yourself, right? From like childhood to now.
So I was born in Western New York. I'm a kid from the projects. I've been through a whole lot of stuff. I've had my ups and downs in life, but I've had an opportunity to operate and to navigate through multiple realms. I've just been blessed that way to be able to, if there's something that, like if I have a vision or if I have a purpose, it's always bigger than myself, you know? So I grew up a kid always being told that I would never be anybody, that I would never do anything in life, that, because a lot of my friends, they ended up dead or in jail. But by the grace of God, I'm here.
That's amazing. And you got a lot of titles, right? Not just are you a champion boxer, you're a top 40 recording artist, you're an author, which I want to talk about after this. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people who have poured into me and have helped me. I could have never accomplished the things that I've accomplished if I didn't have somebody that helped me, that poured into me, that a mentor, a coach, whatever it was, someone that spoke into my life, that took time for me. So now what I'm doing is I'm giving back.
Wow.
I'm giving back. Yeah.
Do you feel like the resiliency that it took to become a champion boxer is something you take with you in all of your projects that you do?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to be able to be resilient. You have to have a quiet consistency when it comes to achieving anything that's worth mentioning. You have to have the ability to find the purpose of pain.
Yeah.
The purpose of pain, is, I believe, is to produce power. So there are a lot of people in this world who have been disappointed, who have been hurt, who have been, just almost given up. But when we understand the purpose of pain, it's to thrust us into another place. It's to cause us to be relatable to other people so that we can help.
Yeah. Let's talk about our similarities. I mean, it's crazy. Every time, we have more of conversation, it's like, well, I do that too. Right. A lot of people know that I came from fitness. That was my thing. And I know that you also were in fitness. But did you ever feel that you were meant for greatness? I say that all the time. And I feel like sometimes you have this inner voice telling you, I'm meant for more. I'm meant for more. Is that what you mean when you say you had a lot of people pour into you? How did you get from the projects to, becoming who you are today?
Well, it was a long road, and it's the road still has its ups and its downs. But what happens is this: I think that when we have a desire inside of us, we will cause a gravitational pull. We talked about that, a gravitational pull that certain people will come into your life, and the people that come into your life, if they're able to identify the greatness that's inside of you, if they're able to identify that potential cannot be measured, and to activate and to cultivate and to, to just to help, man, that's where it's at.
Wow.
That's where it's at. Yeah.
And you're called the breakthrough specialist. Tell us a bit about that.
The breakthrough specialist. Well, I mean, I started off, I set a goal for music.
Yeah.
I was told that the music would never go because it was positive music. Because I said I wouldn't use racial slurs and I wouldn't degrade women. I wouldn't, I said, I'm gonna be different. And I ended up making the top 40 across the United States.
Yeah.
I made number 21 on the
So
charts,
cool.
and I also made number 6 on the charts. So then, with boxing, I was told I would never be a champion. I was told, you think too much, you're too much of an intellectual, and everything else, and I'm too soft, I'm too gentle. So I ended up winning, 3 championships, three titles in boxing. I had numerous contracts to turn pro. I actually, I'm glad that, I listened to the inner voice, of the divine. When God speaks, you got to listen. So I can speak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can talk. I can articulate my words. And I believe that when you talk about multiple realms and navigation, I've been at the lowest place, But then, like, when you talk about, like, the pandemic, for instance, the pandemic, when I hit, oh, man.
Right?
I was bawling. I didn't know what I was going to do. I said, because I just actually, I was selected for a television show to become a host. Isn't that something?
Ironic.
Yeah. And on the West Coast of the United States. And then the pandemic hit and I wasn't able to fly. So my dreams were crushed.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what I was going to do. So I prayed, I meditated, I filled my mind with good stuff. And all of a sudden, I had the vision of Think Fearlessly. Wow. So that book was birthed out of adversity,
That book,
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about this book. You have 2 books right now, and I want to talk about this one first. Tell us about what it took to write this book. What is the message that you want to share?
Well, the message is, there's a man by the name of Customato. He said, there's a hero and there's a coward. They both feel the same. It's what they do that makes them different.
Oh, that's good.
Right? So we can feel a certain way.
Yeah.
Fear is not necessarily a bad thing if we understand its purpose. Yeah. The purpose of fear, I believe, is to go through it and still achieve that which you have set out to do. Being afraid is not a bad thing. It doesn't show weakness. It's what we do that makes a difference, right? So the book Think Fearlessly, I had to listen. When I got halfway through this book, I got scared. I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can tell people this stuff about me because I felt like so exposed and naked. But I'm starting to understand more and more in life that the more transparent that we are, the more people we can help.
Yeah.
So I got halfway through it. I was about to quit. I said, ain't nobody reading this about me. Because I'm a private person, but I'm learning to share so that, my whole purpose in life is to empower, to help people to break through that are having a hard time. I have a life coaching program as well. That's awesome. I just see the results and I just love it when someone comes to me and says, you changed my life.
That's powerful.
Right? So that book, that was birthed out of adversity, out of a lot of hurt and pain and disappointment. My dreams were shattered. I said, what am I gonna do now? And then it came to me and I started writing. I'm so glad that I pushed through.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I pushed through after it was done, it was like, okay, let's see what happens next. And this is just the beginning.
Awesome. Yeah. And I can tell your authenticity. You know what I mean? Like you said, being transparent can only help someone else because you are exposing the rawness of yourself. And people need that nowadays. They want to relate to someone that understands what they're going through. And And just like you said, empowering, that's what I hope to do as well. It's like your message is so pure and divine that's why I feel people listen to you, is because it's true and it's meant for the greater good. Which brings us to the next book. Okay. So Think Fearlessly. We're going to post everything on the links. But this book right here, okay? I bought the book and literally I have goosebumps. I couldn't put it down. Okay. You know, I'm walking around like this, the house. My kid's like, Mom, I'm hungry. I'm like, whoa, one second. I'm almost done. But I could not one day read this whole book from start to finish. And I put it down and I thought, oh, I had to take a deep breath thinking, oh, you know what I mean? Now your message is clear of why we need to come together as a community.
Yes. Yes.
How
Yes.
did you come up with writing this book?
Okay. Well, most of my life I've spent time helping people, as I mentioned. I have worked with people that have been trafficked. And my focus has always been, punishment. The act itself is hideous. But I believe in my conscious state, what I'm thinking about is the resolution for this conflicting thing within society. It's so, it runs so deep, but at the same time, it's so simple. I like to speak into people's lives who are having a hard time. And I believe that this is $150 billion industry.
Industry, keyword, right?
Yeah. And that's a lot of money, right? But at the same time, there's not enough money in the world. One person, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? So I look at having understanding now, a greater understanding. Before it was like, give me in a cell with one of them.
Yeah.
We're going to take care of business. I just wish that. Now it's like, I just wish that I could tap into what it is that's causing you to do this.
Pain.
Yeah. And look what the potential cannot be measured in an individual. It doesn't matter who they are. Right. So all that power that you have, all that insight that you have, if you only had the understanding of what you can do with that to help people rather than hurt people. There's not enough money in the world. There's not enough money in the world to violate someone's human rights. And
do you feel like because you've worked with those victims that have been human trafficked, you felt the need to write a book about it? Do you feel like you're moving into advocacy now?
Well, I was actually writing the book originally. It was going to be for a fight film.
No.
Yeah. So I had some very important people that are in my life. They had mentioned to me they wanted me to write a story and for fighting. So it just poured out of me, because that's in me already anyway, right? So it is a book about boxing. It is a book about his two female boxers, Chelsea and Estella. Yeah, you know them by name, huh? And the characters, they just come alive.
They did.
Yeah, they come alive. And the reason why I believe the book is the way that it is, because you're not the first person to say this. I mean, I'm getting DMs all the time, people messaging. And the reason why I believe people tend to connect with it is it's like I have seen and I have heard and I have witnessed and I have extracted what I've seen, heard, and witnessed. And in doing so, without breaching anyone's confidentiality, the book was developed.
Wow. That's powerful.
Yeah, because I respect people's obviously, but at the same time, let's cast light on this. Let's find a solution, to this problem. And it's a global problem.
I mean, this could be a loaded question, but what do you think the solution is?
I think the solution is tapping into the mind of the offender.
Okay.
And giving them an understanding that you're so much greater than this. You're so much better than the way that you're living. Your insight and your so-called foresight needs to shift. the paradigm that you're living in. Maybe you were told that you can never make money any other way.
Right.
Maybe you were told that, that you will never amount to nothing. Maybe you were told things that really put you down in life, and you feel that this is all you're good for. Because there's no way that our conscious even a dog knows right from wrong.
Right.
Right. But let's focus on the solution.
Choose love.
That's it. That's it.
Wow.
And love is, man, sometimes it's hard to do that.
It's just like when you hear someone forgives a murderer, for example, for doing them wrong in their family. The forgiveness. Forgiveness is hard. It's not something that I don't think everyone can do. I think everyone's capable of it, but I think there's a time and place in your life. I do believe that when we bring love in, a divine power, God, whoever you want to call it, it helps you toward forgiveness. And even just resentfulness is the lowest frequency. I always say to everybody, it's like, don't resent anybody just because you're in the lowest frequency. You may dislike them. They did you wrong, but what is the lesson? What can you learn from this that you may help them or someone else? I think forgiveness sets you free.
Absolutely. There's examples in that story about forgiveness.
Yeah. The dad.
Because some of the things in there, I would struggle with forgiving someone.
The whole dynamic of this story, I was invested. Let's just say that I was super invested in these characters, that it was very relatable and thinking, how do they choose forgiveness? I hear you. But I believe that when you know you have a purpose in life and you are called to something greater, forgiveness is part of the growth. It's part of the process. Yeah,
and sometimes we have a hard time forgiving ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's a big one.
I'm going to post the links for everything that is below because I do think that this is something that everyone needs to read. It's an important part of what's happening in our world today. And just to be aware and know what's going on and spread the message is important. We're going to change it up a little bit. I thought, you know what? You don't maybe know me by now, but I like to play games. Okay. A little break of the ice a little bit. Okay. So there's a game. Have you ever heard this game? Hella Awkward? Could get awkward. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I'm gonna ask you questions. And you just give me your honest.
Go.
Okay. All right. I like you. Yeah. Okay.
I got glitter socks on. Is that the first? I forgot my.
Okay. You have to delete every app on your phone, but 3. Which ones are you keeping?
Oh man, my IG for sure. I'm keeping my IG. That ain't going nowhere.
The IG is tight. We gotta keep it.
You know what? I'm actually feeling TikTok a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, I am. And I like to be able to bank real easy.
Okay. That's smart. Yeah, about the money.
So we got IG, TikTok, and my banking.
Okay. If you had to spend $100,000 in 24 hours, how would you spend it? No investments.
Oh, man. $100,000 in how long?
24 hours.
Oh, in 24 hours? I would hit the grocery stores. I would hire some people real quick. And I hit the streets. The people that are homeless, I would make sure that they're fed.
Oh, man, J.I., that's so good.
And then I would, I really would. I'm serious, I really would. And I would also, there's a couple people who need a vehicle. I'd probably buy a couple of vehicles.
That's just look at that. That's just a testament to who you are. It's amazing.
I don't know. I'll be eating with everybody else. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm coming for that ride.
Did I say I would be ordering sushi for everybody? Sushi for all of the region.
You get sushi. You get sushi. Okay. You're throwing an epic party and can book any artist. Who are you choosing?
Me.
Oh my God. I love that you said that. I was like, okay, for sure. Okay. What's something?
I would say who I would actually book. There's an artist by the name of Sway. Got a lot of potential.
Yeah. I love it. Okay.
He's got potential. Yeah, he's got a lot of potential.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sway. What's something you let go of that at one point you thought defined you?
My selfishness.
Oh, wow. Do you feel like kind of set you free to do better?
Well, I wasn't happy. Selfish people are never happy. And there was a time period in my life where everything was about me. I wanted what I wanted to get, what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then I started to understand the purpose of life is truly to give, you know. Yeah. So, and I still find myself at times, you know, I want this or I want that, but I have a conscious awareness and God is working on me.
God's always working on everybody.
Yep.
No one's perfect. If you had to move to another country that you've never been to, where would you go and why?
Costa Rica.
Fun fact. We went to Costa Rica for 1 month.
Yeah.
And I was like,
you wanted to stay there, huh?
my people. Have you been?
Not yet. No, I actually haven't been there yet.
You got to go.
But I'm
It's
hearing
an
about it.
experience. So
my circle, everybody's telling me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're booking a flight. Okay, I'm there. All right. Last question. Name something that made your life so much better you wished you did it sooner.
Man, that's got to be like giving my heart to God.
Oh, man, that's good.
It's got to be. Like when I gave my heart to God, my perspective changed. The way I thought changed. The choices that I made changed. My behavior changed. My experiences changed. Even my emotional state changed.
Wow.
And you know what? That's connected to our personality. And we know that our personality, what does it do? It shapes our personal reality. So how we live is because of our personality.
Yeah.
So I got to say, like, God has been so good to me.
Yeah.
I'm just blessed. I just feel so blessed. And yeah, like when I think about, you know, the things that could have happened, I don't want to start crying now. Michelle, don't make me cry. No, I'm serious. Like there was at one point in my life I didn't want to live. And I tried.
No.
I tried. Yeah, I tried. And you know when somebody's serious because they don't tell nobody. But I tried. But by the grace of God, man, I wish I'd have did it sooner. But everything happens for a reason. But now I'm relatable to people.
Yeah.
You know, somebody who feels like their life is meaningless. There's a purpose for your life. I tell somebody today, there's a purpose for your life.
Oh.
God has a purpose for you. And it's greater than you. And it's extraordinary.
Wow, that's
Yes.
amazing. Your mentorship programs. Tell us about that.
Well, I have one program that's called I really see that lives are being affected by it is it's called the Breakthrough Blueprint. Yeah. And I love when someone comes to me with a problem.
You're a fixer.
I love when they come to me with a problem. There's always a resolution, you know. And in this program, because I have an understanding of how to operate through multiple realms, there's always a gatekeeper to every realm. Okay, the gatekeeper, you can identify who the gatekeeper is because they look like they belong in that realm. So in order to enter into new realms of manifestation, we have to bypass the gatekeeper. So what does that mean? We have to look like we belong in that realm.
Okay.
And once we bypass the gatekeeper, guess what comes out? Our true identity. So you got somebody that, let's just say somebody is wanting to enter into the realm of boxing, of wealth. I mean, if you look at the realm of boxing, you think of Muhammad Ali, you think of Floyd Mayweather, you think of different fighters, right? If you think about music, you think about Michael Jackson, you think about Elvis, you think about all the different artists. These are all gatekeepers.
Okay.
And to enter into a realm, you have to bypass the gatekeeper. You have to look like you belong there. So, yeah, I speak about this. And even with relationships, I mean, I'm not an expert, but I know some things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been able to help people to have their families restored. I've been in prisons across the country, talking to inmates. You know, I was actually at an event, and I remember, man, this. So I'm standing there. I just did a television interview. Little pretty blonde girl standing there, and they say, "Hey, Rhonda, do you want a picture with J.I.?" And I'm like, "Who is this Rhonda?" So she comes out smiling, short little thing. She hugged into me, and I said, "Okay." We took the picture, and then I said, "Hi, nice to meet you. What's your name?" She says, "Rhonda Rousey." I said, "Okay." So then after that, we left. I ended up going to another side of the room, and a guy standing there looking at me sideways. He's looking like me like, "You don't know who I am, do you?" I said, "No, man, I don't know who you are." "You don't remember me?" I said, "No. Listen, I'm a peaceful dude, but I'll get in my stance now." I got in my stance, upbladed my body a little bit.
Oh, man.
He said, "You came in to see me." He said, "My life has changed." He said, "My family's been restored." And he said, "I have a business and I'm making millions of dollars now."
Stop.
Like, yeah. So I was like, wow. And his eyes filled up. My eyes filled up. Man, and I'm just like so grateful because I know that that's not me. That's my God working through me. Yeah, I can't take credit for that. But when he told me that, I said, I have value with this. I understand it a little better now.
That is so amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I could listen to you talk all day. You're good. So tell us what you're into next. You have these books.
Okay, yes.
And tell us what's going on next.
So what we have in common is you into fitness as well, right?
Yeah.
So I'm really into fitness. I'm into helping people within fitness. I train fighters too, but I also have people that I've thought about throughout the years that are hurting and they don't have, proper medical treatment.
Yeah.
Or the medical treatment that they're getting is not working. So there's a good friend of mine. She's an iridologist. She brought a product. Now, I wouldn't call it a product. I would call it just technology to me. And at first I was like, what is this? Like, come on, what is this? And she kept calling. And finally I gave in. I gave some time. And she did a thing called a balance test. Balance is important. Balance it signifies if we're in good health or not, right? And then the largest organ that we have in a part of our bodies is our skin. And very simple, it's called neuroscience, where there are signals that are sent, something to do with the neural pathways. Listen, I'm not a doctor, but this thing works. So the brain receives signals from the skin, and it's interchangeable. And what happens is if you have pain in your body, that's neurological functionality. Everything that happens in the body, even peace, joy, what else? Focus.
Yeah.
I got a focus patch on right now.
Oh yeah?
Yes, I got a focus patch
because
on.
People need to focus when they speak to me. I'm everywhere. Okay, and how long have you been using it?
I've been using it for about 2 months now,
Okay.
at least. But I've been doing research for the last 6 months.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you what got me was my dad. See, my dad couldn't lift his arm up.
Yeah.
And it was another man actually who wrestled. He couldn't lift his arm up as well. I took this thing and I put it on somebody's arm. Or sorry, it wasn't even his arm, it was on his side. Because it doesn't matter where it goes, as long as it's on the skin, it's gonna send a signal to the brain. My dad was able to lift up his arm all the way. He could not do that before. Man, when I saw that, I was like, man, okay, there's something to it. So I went into a computer place, list chicken laptop. I said, anybody here got pain in their body? I said, let me see if this thing really works.
Oh my gosh.
Look, dude said, man, you don't even know. My body's hurting.
Really?
His feet were inflamed, inflammation. And they were swollen. And guess what happened? I took a patch. There was one called the Victory Patch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that name.
The Victory Patch. Matter of fact, can I?
Sure.
So this is there's patches for calories to lose weight.
Okay, I got a few of those.
Yep, this is the victory patch. This is one of my favorites right here, the victory patch. But listen, what happened was I ended up giving him a couple patches, the peace patch and the victory patch, and everything in his body shifted. Totally shifted. I mean, this man is like, he said, I can't wait to get back to the gym.
Wow.
I got to get in the gym. He might be in the gym right now. So,
wow.
And then I said, once you build yourself up with your muscles and stuff, then you're going to come and see me and we're going to do some boxing.
Oh man, that's so cool.
Yeah. So,
so you are selling those, right?
Yeah. So you can go to justisaac.superpatch.com.
Okay.
justisaac.superpatch.com.
Okay. We'll post all the links below. So looking ahead, what projects or initiatives are you going to be most excited about?
Well, I'll be honest. I'm really excited about this patch right now. Yeah, because I'm seeing lives change, and not only that, listen, it is actually generating. It's another stream.
Yeah,
that's good. But I'm also really looking forward to the next release, the sequel to. Fight the Shadows. Yes.
Oh yeah,
Fight the Shadows series. Yes,
I cannot wait.
So so Traffic Fight. I kind of gave that away at the end of the book, right?
Yeah, I was like, it was like literally a cliffhanger. Like, and now what?
Right.
Amazing. This was wonderful. It's been amazing to connect with each other, learn more about you. I think that you have tremendous value that you're providing. To people, Michelle. To the world. And I hope that we keep in connection because I feel we're on the same wavelength.
Absolutely.
Do you have anything else you want to tell our viewers?
I was about to say Volume 2 will be back. Volume 2, I'll be back here.
Oh!
I love the energy on your show. Is real positive. There's a frequency. You come in contact with different people, you can sense their frequency, right?
Yeah. Well, thank you. I love it.
Positive.
Your vibe attracts your strap, baby. Okay, I'm going to send off with this quote. You've got to get up every morning with determination if you're going to go to bed with satisfaction. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to post all of GI's links below. It's been amazing and hope you tune into the next episode. Have a great day.